Hey everybody, it is 8 p.m. on Monday night here at KPFT. You hear that familiar song, which means once again it is time for another episode of Effin Rager. Hey everybody, this is Connor Clifton, joined as always by my lovely co-host Ned Gale. Ned,
yo,
how the heck are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, tastic. I had to think about that for a second.
Wait, oh, okay.
Is it fan-girling? I'm in front of Connor Clifton.
Oh, Ned, anyway, how was your freaking weekend?
It was good. What did we do this weekend? I checked out Lion Share Friday night. It was fantastic. I had a really good time. Got lost in it. And after the show, went to Own Eatery in Chinatown. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't say Chinatown, it's Bel Air. It's this Korean food place that's all like neoned out. It looks like a Mortal Kombat level. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Did that, and then Saturday did something else. What did we do Saturday? Did we hang out?
Oh, we hung out on Saturday, my friend. We went on an adventure on Saturday.
Did we?
Saturday morning. So here's the thing. You wake up at like 11. I wake up at 7.
Yeah.
So I have the mornings to myself, and if I'm blocked in our driveway, I just like look online I go on Facebook and stuff all morning, and I happened on Twitter to come across somebody posting a thing about Sour Patch Kids cereal.
Oh, hold up. What's up? What were those three words together?
What?
Say those words again.
Sour Patch Kids cereal?
Huh, yeah, something just doesn't sound right about it. Sour Patch is one word in my mind.
So, yeah, all right, look, I saw a thing for Sour Patch Kids cereal, and I thought, internet memes, you've done it.
Clearly fake.
I'm done with the Shaggy's all-powerful memes. Give me the sour candy cereal memes. Then I went on to Walmart.com. It's a real cereal.
Which is the next website just on your homepage.
It's one of my tabs.
Yeah.
I found the nearest Walmart that had this cereal, and I thought, today I'm going to go get it. And so you, me, and Antoine, friend of the show, we all hopped in my car. And what was funny is that I was just asking, hey, you guys want to go? I'll drive. And you didn't act like I pitched something that you just didn't want to do. You acted like if you didn't go, you were going to be grounded.
It's like,
you were like a snotty teen, just really not wanting to go to Walmart. So we all,
because you said we had to go to a far Walmart, to which you almost made us drive south on 45, which 45 is just like closed right now.
Yeah, I found a closer Walmart and it worked out. And
we had to leave the loop for the cereal.
We did have to leave the loop. We go back to my place. We all tried it. It was bad.
Yeah. No other way to cut it. It was just the first bite into it.
It's like sour.
Everything's confirmed. There's nothing to say about it. Like,
look, I will.
It tastes like Trix, but bad.
Yeah. Look, there's nothing to say about it. The cereal did not technically disappoint. We didn't have high expectations from it.
The first bite, you're just like, yeah, that's Sour Patch Kids cereal.
Yeah, you know.
It's sour milk.
But what was interesting, as much as we're poo-pooing it, we definitely kept eating it.
You've kept eating it. I had one more bite an hour later, because you have to reconfirm with your taste buds. I don't know if it was in a weird place. My palate had been cleansed by that point. Took another bite, confirmed.
You're like,
still Sour Patch Kids. I came home today. You were sitting next to it on the couch. It had couch. It was sitting on a pillow. It was comfortable.
Bowl, no spoon. I was eating it. I was pouring it. I used to do this in college. I would pour cereal into a glass and then drink out of the glass with as if it were full of liquid, but it's just cereal. I'm never going to do it again because it has burned my mouth, all the citric acid. It's sour Fruit Loops. It does not make the milk.
Hey, now that's a good idea. Sour Fruit Loops.
Right.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty good. Okay. And then the rest of the weekend, I went to a punk show that night and just threw up immediately when I left it because I was like, oh, I don't dance like that anymore.
Oh, yeah, you did go to that punk show. What was the name of the band?
Hank Wood and the Hammerheads.
Are they local?
No, they're from New York.
Oh.
Real angry young punks.
So, the Angry Yankees. All right.
Yeah. Did that, and then Sunday, we went out. We went to the freaking mall.
We did. Yeah. We went to the mall.
It was pretty good. I got some pants. Wearing them right now. They're working.
I had two different shopping experiences. I went to the mall, which I detested, and then I went to a swap meet, which was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, over at Insomnia.
Yeah, it was a classic swap meet, but you could only swap for cash. You couldn't really swap. I got
classic swap on the swap meet.
Yeah, I got some really nice shirts. I felt good about my new wardrobe edition.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all went back to our place.
Mm-hmm.
You, me, and Antoine. We hung out with Antoine, friend of the show, a lot this weekend. And we watched Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had never seen.
Nothing else to say about that.
No, you didn't.
It was
like
bad.
It?
It wasn't bad, but it was like,
the second viewing, I had a lot more fun. It was still pretty dumb to see Princess Leia flying through space.
There's so little to think about that movie. Today, I was like kind of rerunning it in my mind. I was like, yep, definitely a lot of space fighting.
Oh yeah.
A Star War, if you will.
What's frustrating? That movie really upset a lot of people online. There was a lot of comments going around. People really tore Rian Johnson, the director. They tore him a new one. They were not relenting. They were ranting and raving.
New pooper for the director of Looper.
Oh!
That's what you said. Tore him a new one, right?
I'm gonna pound your nose in.
No, I mean the milk scene was the best scene in the entire movie. But other than that, pretty crap.
Yeah. Alien boob.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
I've never connected more with a Star Wars movie. In that moment, I was like, "This is made for me."
Well, if you go online, you can see people. There's some quite vitriolic comments going around about this movie and the decisions that were made. People aren't very optimistic for the next one. They're ranting, they're raving, they're out in the streets chanting "rah, rah, rah." And speaking of rah, also known as RA, which is short for residential advisor, our guest today is an RA at a local university, and she's also a comedian here in town. Please, everybody, welcome Rose Quacker. Yeah. Hey, Rose, how's it going?
Yeah.
You put your headphones on and then come up to the mic.
Hey. Sorry.
Hey. Is that coming on? Yeah.
We got it? We hearing it?
Sorry.
No, you're good. Let me just stop the
You gotta
music
flip
here.
What? There we
Oh,
go.
sorry.
Now we're in.
All right, you good?
Yeah.
Yeah. We did it. Okay.
Wow.
So, Rose, thank you so much for coming onto the show.
Yeah.
We're very, very excited to have you. This is a show about partying.
Uh-huh.
And when we heard that you were an RA, we thought, well, we talked about getting a cop on the show, but people don't really like them.
Why would you do that?
That was the closest we could get. That or a criminal.
Did you say I'm the closest to a cop? That is the biggest insult of my whole comedy career.
To be fair, we know a lot of narcs, but other than that, job-wise, probably closest to the cop we've ever had on this show.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all
Do you feel
bum me out.
upset?
I am. Like, y'all compared me to a cop. Like, I'm...
But RAs are like dorm police, right? Defend your job.
Yeah,
I mean,
come on, pig.
Okay, like...
Do I smell bacon?
Oink,
oink.
Yeah, breakfast came early.
Oh my gosh, the only reason I do my job is when security comes around, they're like, hey, is that resident drunk? And I'm like, hey, can you mind your own business? Like, I come on.
Tight.
Like-
Okay, so you're like a cool RA.
Like a double agent.
I mean, I just like, they're having a good time, and if they're not, like, if I don't get any complaints, like, I just kind of turn a blind eye. Like, they're enjoying themselves. Like, you know.
You heard it here first, college that Rose goes to.
Yeah, we don't have to say which college you go to, because I mean, we want to ask you some stories, and I imagine every RA has to sign a pretty thick NDA.
Yes, we do. And like a lot of, I would have all these crazy stories that would happen, like end up with like a dead animal and like the cops called and all this stuff, and I would just like
Is the animal a human?
Well, I mean, like, and then we just end up best friends, like me and the person that would go through it. So like,
so you're like a crooked cop who hangs out with all the criminals he's busted.
That is, that's a better description. That's a better description.
All right. How long have you been an RA?
I've been an RA now for, like 2.5 years now. No, 2 years. 2 years now. 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Okay, what made you decide to, be the lame person?
Lick the boot.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, do you want to like improve students' lives? And I was like, I don't know. And then they were like, do you want free housing? And I was like, okay.
Hello.
Great, here's your badge and your gun.
That was
We need you to take this guy out immediately.
Okay, part of our training, they were like, what would you do if you found a student with a gun? And apparently the answer, just leave him alone. He's, I'm good, was not what they were looking for.
They're clearly very alpha. You should walk away.
You can bring a gun onto public public schools.
We were like, my university is required to like allow guns, but the thing is, you're not allowed to have them in certain buildings. So one of the buildings I actually lived in, you were allowed to have guns, and so my residents would.
It was a saloon.
Yeah.
Well, I'd have residents that'd be like, "So can I have an assault rifle?" And I'd be like, "That's not, fam. Come on, like, really?"
They're just trying to like push it.
Yeah.
Like, what about a tank?
Yeah, tanks, but no tanks.
We allow pets too, and like sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. But
Now,
like,
can the pets have guns?
exactly. That's the important question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell me off air what school this is, because
I will.
looks like Connie's going back to college. I'm gonna get a
You
chinchilla.
should.
You don't even have a pet right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
You're
waiting to
getting
go
a
back
dorm
to
just to
college.
go to a pet. We could have a pet in our house. I think.
What?
And y'all don't already? Selfish.
We have
Well-
a raccoon living in our
Yeah, but that
Wall.
We're looking at hypoallergenic cats.
or
I
hypoallergenic
love it.
raccoons, whichever one comes first.
we have animals too, but they're like dead, like in the walls, because like.
What's your secret?
Well, like, okay,
Teach me.
we would have rats that would fall through the ceiling because the ceilings were cracked, and I contacted my boss about it, and he was like, "Those are pets. Those are like brand new pets y'all got. Don't worry."
Those are your standard rat cracks. Yeah, they come in every dorm building.
He was like, "Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's all good."
Ugh, that's so disgusting.
They actually fell on his desk while he was working.
What?
And we were like, "Are you concerned now?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I just called the exterminator." And I was like, "Beforehand, were you just chilling?" Like,
I think if a dead rat falls on your desk, that'd be the time to be like, well, glad I didn't call that exterminator. That solved itself. All right. So have there been parties? You say that mostly kind of like turn a blind eye, but have there been occasions where you had to, put the hammer down,
Yes,
lay down the
there-
law?
Yeah, 2
Yeah.
years. You've got to
I've
shut
had-
something down.
so y'all remember? I don't know if y'all remember this. It was kind of like a small event, only happened a couple, like Hurricane Harvey, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Just-
Actually, I got front row tickets.
So
Y'all are buttholes. Oh my god.
so
JJ Watt's gonna come in here and kick y'all's
he
asses.
like I
Dude, that
wouldn't
would
be surprised.
He would be such a good get for the show.
would.
I'll say anything to have him kick my ass on air.
Hey, while you're pounding my face in, have you gone to any cool parties?
Can you say you're listening to Effin Rager every Monday at 8?
Honestly, if there's anyone that could beat me up like that, would
Yeah.
JJ Watt. All right.
There's a lot of celebrities I would love to have
Okay,
kick,
The
if that's what
Rock?
it takes.
Yeah, like-
Oh no.
No,
I would
like-
die.
like I would die, but I'd be
Of
happy, like
embarrassment.
right.
I would not. I don't think The Rock is on my top list. Meryl
Yeah.
Streep is
Oh,
up there.
yeah.
Oh my god,
Oh,
she'd be
yeah.
so good at it too.
She could
Well,
do anything.
okay,
Really? Radio's
wait.
the next.
But if she were to beat you up, I feel like she'd go for the full. Like JJ Watts would be like, "I'm gonna make him knock out." Meryl Streep would be like, "No, we're ending this. Like this is gonna be the end."
She'd
like,
claw at the throat.
Like, stiletto right in the throat. Like
Ooh.
you wouldn't be able to recover from that, right?
True, and
The-
she's such a resourceful woman. Yeah.
Exactly.
The
She
thing
pulled it
is-
who knows?
The thing is I'd be able to see and hear her a mile away when she does that, like, I'm gonna beat you up. And she comes. Yeah, I'd know. I'd prepare myself.
But it'd
for
be in
it.
the dark, so she'd do from different areas, so like you wouldn't know where
Oh
she's
my
coming
God.
from.
And she could just like impersonate Ned, and I
Yes.
believe it. 'cause
Oh my
she
God,
can
she's
do
so good.
anything.
Yes.
Yeah, she's
She
amazing.
would have like Sharpie, like a beard, and like you wouldn't. Who would know?
Oh,
It's
no
that
one.
thick, you think? Yeah.
I put on a beard once, twice in my life. Like, oh, Meryl.
How do you do it?
I would love Meryl Streep. I think I'd like to get Adam Sandler on the show. I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah.
He would pound you. I feel like he's a scary dude. You see
Adam
that Anger
Sandler?
Management
I have. He was good in it.
or Punch Drunk Love even.
Okay, so I didn't grow up with like a lot of like kids cartoons. I grew up with Adam Sandler movies. So I was like the first
Hell
thing I was
yeah.
thinking of was like him beating up everyone while playing golf. Like
Oh yeah, I guess Happy
Like-
Gilmore
Okay.
too. Yeah.
I
Happy
mean like
Gilmore.
that was the first. I was like, oh no, I wouldn't be able to survive that. Like that'd be the end.
Well,
that
the,
would.
the Sandman's big thing is that he like has those moments of anger that are so over the top. Like that's something that's really in it.
But he'd be lovable afterwards. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
He'd be like, he'd yell and yell, he'd be like, all right! He'd go, shabba-da-doo, and then everybody
You'd
would
have
be
a
happy
nail
with
in
it.
your head, but you'd have a great story with it. So it'd be worth
Yes.
it.
And that's what the show's about. Stories.
Speaking of stories, we were asking about times you had to lay down the laws.
So
Oh, yeah.
Hurricane Harvey happened,
Right.
And they called me and they were like, "Hey, we need you to go," because they evacuated the frat houses, and they were like, "We found a couple of violations, so we're gonna need you to go in and write up the violations." And I was like, "I don't want to do that." And they were like, "No, you have to. Like, you have to come down." So I went down, and Oh my god, there were like huge homemade generators that they had made in downstairs,
Homemade?
and I was like, they fail all of their classes, but they can make like these huge generators.
Like,
and
well, I'm
like,
taking a philosophy class. Jeez, get off my back.
dude,
This is
like,
some weird science you guys are doing down here.
like they're engineering majors that are failing everything, but they're like, we just
Oh.
need some extra power. Like, it's okay. Like, we got it. Like, they had like powders and stuff like that. I didn't even know the names of. Like,
Oh, so you're
Sand?
square too.
I am. No, I'm a comedian who doesn't, I don't drink or do anything like that. So I was like, what is this? And they were like, don't worry about it. And I was like, all right. I had to kick one guy out, and I went to his room and I was like, hey, enrollment already happened. Do you have to leave? And he was like, but all my food's in here. And he kind of let me in, and in his fridge,
He's just sitting on a pile of dead
Well,
rats. He's like,
in his-
my food, my friends.
no, it's worse. It's worse. In his fridge and in his cupboards was cat food.
Wait, this
yeah.
frat guy was eating cat food?
No, different guy.
Cat
totally
guy.
different.
He's a cat guy.
But like, that was it. Like, there was no like, and there wasn't a cat. I didn't see any evidence of a cat, and I was like, you gotta leave. Like, we're not. And his bathtub was full of cigarettes.
I love how you're like, I see no evidence of a
There
cat.
was no cat. Like,
Wait,
there was
there's,
no
like,
other
cat
food.
Was there
It sounds like a
litter?
cat that smokes a bunch of cigarettes. That's clear.
Yeah, were there any cat
There
litter
wasn't
or
even
cat
like
toys?
water. There wasn't even like other. There was just.
It was just cat food?
It was just cat food everywhere, and I was
I've
like,
heard of the
so-
keto diet, but a kitty diet? Come on, y'all.
Yeah, did you kick him out of the dorms because he just ate cat food?
Well, he like
Were you
had
like,
to pay
not
this.
at this school, not at my alma mater?
You can have a pet, but you can't have the food. Like, you have to like hunt for that yourself. Like, I don't. Oh my gosh. Like, and I felt kind of bad about kicking him out, but I was like looking around. I was like, maybe he'll be better this way. Like, maybe he'll like find some kind of like he'll be like, this is the next step. Like, I got to become better than
Yeah,
this.
and then you grab him by the collar and say, "Get the heck out of here!" Kicked him by the boot. Yeah,
Whoa, bounces down the street a bunch.
all the way into the yeah.
Okay, so does that have you ever had to break up a party?
I've had to break up a couple of parties. I had to break up one party. Okay, so some of our rooms are super small. They're like 2 beds, and they're like, and I broke up this party, and I knocked on the door, and a person answered, and it was really quiet, and I was like, hey, we've got a noise complaint. And she was like, oh good, I'm so glad you're here. I want to kick everybody out. And I was like, everybody? And then she opened the door, and there were so many people packed in there that there wasn't space. Like, this was like assault, multiple, like there wasn't space between anybody, and they all started piling out, and I was like, this is another vibe. Like, oh my god, I'm good. they couldn't even all fit into the elevator. Like, what were they doing in there?
Were you?
You're like, get all those people off that bunk bed, and the bunk bed unforms. Like, oh, that's just a single bed with a lot of people.
Were you more just like annoyed, and were you like, oh god, this is too
I
many
thought
people?
it was
Or were
just a
you like,
noise complaint.
Oh, the fire marshal's gonna be pissed.
The amount of times fire marshals have come to complain to me. They're like,
They complained to you?
oh yeah, they're like, you need to get these kids in line, and I'm like, I'd rather not. I want to go to comedy. Like, I don't want to sit here and be like, hey, you can't have a heated blanket. That's against the rules, guys.
Oh yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Why don't you
We-
just put cameras in every single dorm and monitor them on the go?
Exactly.
It's interesting when we've talked to teachers.
Uh-huh.
I always reflect back and I think like, oh man, my teacher was a person.
Uh-huh.
I should not have been like this to them. Like, they have their own lives and stresses that I'm only contributing to.
Uh-huh.
And hearing what you have to say about RAs doesn't change my mind. I feel I wasn't mean to the RAs,
Uh-huh.
but if they came in and like, hey, you can't have this blanket, or hey, your fridge is like that, I'm like, cool. I'll
Dude,
get
no
right on
one
it.
changes it. I have to go with a partner, and I have to go, and then I have to be like, oh my gosh, you can't have these types of lights in here. And then they leave, and I go back to them, and I'm like, hey, no one cares. Like, you're fine. And they're like, are you sure I don't want to get in trouble? And I'm like, I was the person that was going to get you in trouble. I don't care. Like,
We had an RA who would like have to if he broke up a party with booze, he would be like, hey guys, come on, you can't do this.
Yeah.
But then he'd come up to you later and he'd be like, hey, so I just wanted to talk to you about what's been going on, and I think the light of Christ could really help you go through
Oh,
this.
no.
No. Oh
not
my.
right now.
Okay, wait. I had an RA tell me that too, because she was like, "Hey, I've noticed you've been going out at night a lot, and like I do it for comedy, right? And I go out and I'm out pretty late. 'cause I
Night
leave
is the
bus."
devil's time.
Well, she came to me. She was like, "Hey, I've noticed that you've been going out a lot, and I noticed you leave the meetings right afterwards, and I think you're going through something, and I just want you to know I'm praying for you." And I was like, "It's like stand-up comedy is so much worse than what she's thinking. Like, whatever like shenanigans she thinks I'm up to, like it's so I'm not even getting like it's so much
Just
worse.
tell her, pray for me. I'm trying to make it big, and
Yeah.
also come to my show.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Quit
also-
praying and start showing up,
Well,
kid.
also, I wear a wig and heavy makeup, so I mean, I'm sure it doesn't look good when I'm like leaving the building and people are like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. Like, let me live."
Yeah. Let me live. That's all you should say. Like,
Yeah, I've never really thought twice
Also,
about
free prayer. Yeah, I'll take it. Hey, if you guys want to pray for me, feel free to call in at 713-526-8737
Ooh,
and
are we
say a
opening up
little
the
prayer for me.
Are we
All
opening up the
right.
prayer line?
Oh, yeah. Hey, we got some comments here, by the way. I wanted
great.
to
What
jump
do we
these
got?
in.
Comments.
Brandon wanted to ask if you likes to rage.
If I like, wait, if I like,
Do
to
you like
rage,
to, all caps, rage?
I'm gonna say yes.
Is that the singing guy?
Yes.
Yes,
always.
that is singing
All
guy. Oh, yeah, we haven't talked about singing. We'll
Wait,
talk about this later.
Is there like a backstory to why y'all call him the singing guy?
He sings.
Oh yeah. So he doesn't just sing. He calls in. He called in like 3 or 4 times, and he would just start singing, and he
Oh
wouldn't
my
stop.
God.
And we'd ask him questions, and he wouldn't say anything. He'd just keep
He's
singing.
just looking for an audience, honey. There's open mics out there.
Oh
like,
no, he
No,
was
no.
playing the biggest prank on him.
Yeah, because we
And-
didn't know who it was for the longest time.
And
Oh,
it
is
was-
it is like
It was a man in the mask.
Well, Ned was like, "I like the mystery. It's fun." And I was pulling my hair out,
Uh-huh.
trying to be like, "I think it's Jack. No, now I
Uh-huh.
think it's Joe. It could be somebody else."
we hired a lot of private
So
investigators.
I was gonna ask, like,
And
are
all I
all
found
your
out was
buddies
Ned's
singing?
cheating on me.
No, it was my friend Brandon from Denton. Oh my gosh, we got so many more messages.
I
Also,
love
Nick sent
it.
us an instructable for homemade generators. I don't know how
Oh
much time
my
we have left on the
gosh,
show, but
really?
we could just make some generators on air.
Okay, because I'm wondering how did they make them? Like, and they were enormous.
oh, we got a bicycle one.
Did they have a hamster wheel? And
This
you
one-
just thought it was a
I think this
They
one's
were
made of
super
connects.
round. They were.
Oh, this one looks like an
Oh
amp.
my god.
This is great radio content.
One would be
This
good if it's like a
is-
bunch of tubes hooked up to a dog. Pure energy.
Any other comments that we got?
Brandon saying, I'm typing something.
No.
A lady at the church told me nothing good happens after 10 p.m.
Hey,
What?
I mean, you changed
Actually
that.
valid.
I think 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. 1 a.m. is where it's
Okay.
like time to take it on home. It's getting a little dark.
Okay, so sometimes I'd come back late from comedy and I'd have to pass by the frat houses because of like I missed the last bus, so I'd have to walk home. And then in the bushes there usually be like some shirtless guy just sleeping, and I'd have to be like, hey, you gotta, like, security's gonna come find you, and they'd be like, let me sleep, and I'd be like, no, come on, we gotta go together, come on, let's go up. Like,
Do they look like students, or are they just?
I mean, I thought they were students, but now I'm just like, I probably just ran into some random guy sleeping on the street. I was like, y'all need to go.
Well, with the eyes of education, everybody looks like a student to me.
Oh
And
yeah,
I'm always eager to teach.
non-conventional students are more than welcome at Ned's College. We're getting a lot of comments today.
I love
Well, Nick
it.
was asking if a call to prayer was a call to action.
whoa,
we don't need to talk about that on
We
air
don't
right
do
now.
call to
Yeah.
actions here on this show. We never have, never will. We can't be bought. Neither can you. We know that. We respect it.
And we're being called bad boys, and then we're being asked what we are going to do.
Ooh.
I think what we're going to do is move on to another aspect of partying. All right, we've talked about RAs and how sometimes you have to break them up.
Uh-huh.
Have you gone to any cool college parties yet? I mean, you've talked
Yeah.
about you don't drink or anything.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can have
But
fun
socializing.
Yeah.
I partied a lot when I was a freshman. One time I went to a party and we were just chilling, and then they were like, oh my god, something happened, and I was like, what? And they were like, oh, you're sober? And I was like, yeah, because like I hadn't been drinking. They were like, good. A skateboard fell off the wall and hit a girl and like gashed her forehead, so someone needs to take her in. And I was like, no, she's got it. She's good. Don't worry.
Might just be a trick. Wait for her to land.
Bro,
it.
I didn't want to leave. Like I was literally like I was making milkshakes in their kitchen. Like I was
Whoa,
like,
tight.
oh,
You
yeah.
can come to our parties.
Wait, everyone was so out of it, and I was like, you know what? I didn't come here for nothing. So I just started grabbing ingredients out of the fridge. I was like, I'm gonna make a milkshake.
This milk's
Like,
about to get shook.
Wait, were you making milkshakes for everyone or just yourself?
Are you? Why would I make it for everyone?
Oh,
You
never
don't
mind.
do
You're not
anything for me.
invited.
Yeah, that's how I've done that at a party. I've gone to a high school party, or maybe it was college. I'm
Uh-huh.
not sure. Everyone was drinking way too much for their age.
Everyone's drinking at a third grade level, though.
And it hit a point where everyone was so blackout drunk, and
Uh-huh.
I was fine. I'm like, I'm gonna make me some eggs.
That's
Scrambled some eggs up, and somebody asked, "It's like, are these for us?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I'll bring them to you." And then he left, and I just didn't. And I went home. After
that's
I
because
ate
you're
the food.
smart. That's like,
Wait, did that girl
why?
die?
Oh no!
Finish the
we
story.
we took her to the health center. We got her okay, and then we ended up like EMTs came, but like I just it was a horrible thought. I was like, no, she's fine. Like it was, and I regret that.
No, I've been the same. I've had to take people to the hospital
Yeah.
at parties 2 occasions, and both times I was like, can someone else?
Can anyone
All right,
else,
I'll
please?
do it. And then I got to watch glass fall out of my friend's arm, which was tight.
Oh my God.
I think it depends on the friend. I've definitely had friends get in trouble where I was like, oh man, that is your problem. I
Yeah.
don't have to deal with that. But once a friend of mine got punched in the face, and I waited outside the Nerf. It was
The Nerf office?
no, it was homecoming, and a friend of mine got punched in the face,
Uh-huh.
and I spent the rest of the homecoming dance outside the nurse's office, just
Oh,
being like, "Is
no
my friend
way.
okay?"
Aw.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so sweet though. Like that's adorable.
And I had a date, so I blew her
Was that your
off.
friend? Oh, okay.
No,
Oh.
it wasn't. No, I wasn't gonna take my friend. I'm not like. I mean,
Dude,
we
just
went-
because you waited outside doesn't mean you're blowing the
it's the
nurse
guy
off.
I took to prom. So like, he was my date to prom,
Uh-huh.
but at homecoming, no, we had
Yeah.
girls as dates.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I couldn't get a girl to go with me to prom. I was like, well, I'll bring my friend because I know he could probably use all the free food that's going to be there. And then we just hung out.
I love it. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Did you go to prom?
No, to get to college, I had to work like 70 hours a week, so I didn't get to do any of that kind of stuff. Like I had to skip out all that stuff.
Dang.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Now you're from Alaska.
I am. I was working 3 jobs up there because I wanted to like leave Alaska to be able to come here to do stand up.
Houston?
Yeah.
Up in Alaska, do they think like Houston's the place
Well-
to make it?
Well, Houston is like relatively like inexpensive to live compared to where I come from. Like where I come from, it's super because it takes a long time to ship stuff up there. So like where y'all are like, this is expensive. I'm like, okay. Like y'all,
Import fee. Yeah.
oh yeah, like a bunch of peaches is like a ton of money. And here they're like, it's 60 cents for one. I'm like, oh, fuck. Without mold on it, that's crazy. Like that's not a thing where I come from. Like,
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What? So food will get there and it's just like not good?
well, the bottom part of it is like moldy, but like if you eat the top of it, it's okay. Like it's all good. But like it takes a long time to ship up there. It's expensive, so like you're kind of like whatever, you know, same old, same old.
What kind of
Dang.
food?
Like strawberries is one of the big ones. Like
Ooh,
strawberries like
yeah.
Costco and stuff like that. Yeah, you can't grow them up
Strawberries are
there.
so good.
Can we ask what were the jobs that you had to work up there?
I worked a couple of them. I stripped copper, but like it was not legal. Like,
Wait, so you were a criminal?
well, like they would.
That's
bring
an
me,
uncle job.
No, my uncle got me. But like I'd get.
Come on, Rose.
No, that's totally like I'd get paid like $20 for doing a couple of hours of work, and then later I found out he was making like $1,000 a day. For
Oh,
how much
yeah,
copper we were
that's
stripping. Oh yeah, and it, like I wasn't allowed to wear gloves, so like my hands were like torn and bloody and everything, and I was like $20, that's gonna be fine.
It's a
Oh,
living.
Yeah.
Whoa. All
Dang.
right, so that's one.
I worked at a trampoline park where I actually managed a lot of parties, so I've got some fun stories from those.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah,
What
yes.
was the name of it? Those are always funny
Okay,
puns.
so it's like there's one trampoline park there, and like I'd prefer not to give the name, but like I can like so like
well,
I'm
you've already
afraid-
ruined it.
I'm afraid if I give the name, like they're gonna be like, oh my god,
We're just going
this.
to Google Alaskan trampoline.
Go
Can't believe you
ahead.
hang out in this
Go
one
ahead.
trampoline park town. I gotta get out of here.
There's literally 2.
You go on to Houston where they got so many trampoline parks. You get out of here.
That
Rose.
was like literally like when I got here, I was like, there's more than 2 in the city. And they were like, yeah, that's how it is everywhere else. Like, isn't that crazy? But
Okay, so that's 2. Can you tell us the third one?
I actually had a couple. I worked at Pier 1, a home decoration place, which meant that old ladies belittled me every day of my life.
Ugh.
Like, it made me stronger. Like now, when people are like, "You're not funny," I'm like, "You can't ever hurt me the way they did." Like, and then I worked at. Okay, so y'all know Victoria's Secret. So American Eagle has their own version of it for like tweens called Aerie, and I worked there.
Wait,
Yeah.
hang on.
I sold panties for
There-
a couple months.
There's a Victoria's Secret for tweens.
Yes.
Who the hell in marketing was like, all right, guys, okay, all right, here's what we got to do.
Yeah.
Victoria's Secret for kids.
I'm sure it's
My
men's.
last act before being arrested is stamps. Yeah.
Okay, but like I'm sure like I mean but the advertisement is definitely tweens. Like there's definitely like they don't look like they're 17. They look like they're 13. And I would have 13-year-old girls come in. They'd be like, I just want it for my boyfriend. And I'd be like, ooh, is he the old guy in the back? Yeah. And I'd be like, no, run, go. Run. But also they got paid, so I mean, you know, maybe I'm in the wrong line of work. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Alaskan laws, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, we had no, like, so some of the accidents that happened in the trampoline park, like one time, you know how, okay, so you know how knees are supposed to like round?
Mhm.
One time I
Familiar.
had this guy he hit his knee and it was not round anymore. And
Ugh.
he was like, I need to go to the hospital. And I was like, I can't call the ambulance because then we'll be liable. So we're going to put you in one of the rolly chairs and roll you out. And he was like,
really?
oh yeah. He was like, excuse me? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I can't walk. And I was like, that's, you know.
You guys didn't have just like a what do you call it? A release you would sign at the front?
Well, yeah, you would have to sign the release, and then something would happen. One time, we had this little kid who gashed his leg on our gumball machine because we hadn't stapled it properly. And I remember his mom being like, "I'm gonna sue you," and I was like, "You basically signed a form that went, whatever." Like,
To be fair, you guys shouldn't have put the gumball machine on the trampolines. That's just gonna whack
it
a
was
kid.
like right next to it, and like later, my manager was like, "We shouldn't have done that." Like that was ill placement.
Oh boy! All right. So what about the fun parties at the trampoline emporium?
I've had so many.
Is that what it's called? We're gonna keep guessing. And
that's
We'll
okay.
wait until you
Brandon
smile.
said Tramp World maybe or Super Tramp.
Y'all are actually that's really close. That's actually really, but like
Well, yeah, it's got to have Tramp in it somewhere.
the Tramp World's pretty
World,
close.
Maybe like Bounce. It could just be called trampolines.
Tramp of approval.
I don't know how.
That's my new comedy slogan. Thank
Sleep
you.
away Tramp.
Breakfast of Champions.
Oh, breakfast of trampolines.
That's not what I said, Ned.
I know.
That-
But could you imagine?
That is better
You'd never
than
be able to
anything I
swallow them.
could
They'd bounce out of your throat.
The springs would pop off and hit you in the nose.
I'm just writing all of these for like a set later.
Was it
Don't
called
worry about
Jumpman, Jumpman?
Oh no! Go ahead, take our trampoline joke.
Yeah,
I
just
know
play your
there's
show at the end.
I know there's a white man can jump joke in there somewhere. I just know it. I can feel it in my bones. But
Yeah, white man can jump for the price of $29.99 an hour. The full billboard.
it really was that expensive though. It was like $20 for an hour, and I'd have people complain. But then
Is
they'd
that
give me
expensive? I
anyway.
don't know trampoline economics.
Well, like would you like? Okay, so you go in for a movie for like $11. That's like 2 hours, right? And you're like, oh, this is expensive. But then you go to jump on a trampoline for like $20, like that. To me,
I don't have to be short of breath at the end of a movie. That does seem like a better deal.
so you're paying for
Gotta go see
physical
those
exercise.
Avengers movies, buddy.
Yeah, really. I saw Dog's Way Home. I've had my heart rate raised.
Wait, did people actually watch that movie? Did you
Dog's
watch that
Way
movie?
Home?
I watched
Yeah.
the first 15 minutes and the last 15
Wait,
minutes for
why'd
my
you-
podcast, Honey, I Shrunk the Binge, with new episodes coming
Hey,
out next
wait for the
Tuesday.
plug section. but-
Oh my gosh. I'm
Oh
so
my
sorry
gosh.
you had to watch that.
No, it was great. The dog was cute. Yeah.
Did it get home?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Did it get home? Could you imagine?
Spoilers, y'all.
Could you imagine that's not the ending? They're like, and then he didn't
I
get
think-
home. That was the end.
I think
That would be a very bold
that would
move.
be so sad.
See, I thought it was going to be he died and
Yeah.
made his way home to
Mhm.
doggy heaven,
Oh, okay.
or like
Well, as we're aware,
where
all
it's
dogs
like,
do
where
go to
he's
heaven.
the ultimate like good boy or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, wait, what if he was like a golden retriever and he got home and they had another golden retriever? And the other golden retriever like took him out, like done, and then like he
And then
finally
I've
lost
heard
weight.
about you.
yeah. Or they start
Bro.
fighting, and the dad's like, "I don't know which one to shoot," and he throws the gun to the kid, like, "You do it, son," and he has to old yeller one of them.
Yeah, and he shoots through
That-
both the dogs, like that scene from Wanted where he curves the bullet. And they're like, "Whoa, my kid is super
He's
cool,
like,
and I
"We're
have
a
2
cat
dead dogs
family
now."
We
Yeah.
just guys, we can make a script. Like we can like make some big money here. I'm
This
ready.
is perfect. Yeah, I'm already
Yeah.
into it.
A Dog's Way Home 2, Pupper's Revenge. What do we got? There's a
Wow,
comment
it's working
there.
out great. Nick said shockwave for a trampoline place. Lindsay said, "Hey, I think I totaled my car today, but just DoorDashed me some wings. The glass is half full." Lindsay, what wings?
Yeah.
Talk to us about that sauce. Don't leave us
tell
hanging
us where
here.
you went. Tell us what sauce you got. Tell us any dippings.
Nick says total those wings.
See, this is a Rager part.
Look, we have wing talk every now and then.
Oh, we're all about wings. Do you have a
beginning of the
favorite
show.
party food?
Oh my gosh.
Or a food that's definitely not allowed in the dorms, like a forbidden fruit.
Ooh.
Like soup.
What?
How would that
school
be
did you go
forbidden?
to?
You can't like cook
What would you-
stove stuff in your room.
We have one kitchen in like 2 dorms.
You guys
of
got a
600
kitchen in your
people.
dorm?
We've got one in a dorms of like 600 people. So it's like I don't want to use it. No one cleans it. Like I'm good. I don't want to know what they cook there. I'm good.
I've had to cook in the dorms. It's awful. It's a terrible experience.
Why was it like under necessity? Like you had to make like ambrosia or something? Or, like, what was
I
the
love
thought process
cooking,
here?
and if I, all right,
You make eggs
you're an
at a
RA.
frat party,
No,
so I understand.
you're an RA, so I
Uh-huh.
understand you don't get this because you're a total nerd. But
Wow.
if you cook
Look at
on
your
campus,
shirt.
the shirt is, oh, awesome.
It's beautiful, but
I'm wearing a shirt with a lot of little Pikachus on it. It is a button up.
It's gorgeous.
Yes, I look awesome.
I
But
thought they were big Pikachus.
when I got this shirt, I did tell Antoine, friend of the show, that like I don't know if I could pull this off. And he's like, "Dude, do you have a shirt with minions on it?"
Yeah,
It's literally the same
that's
shirt.
A step
It's
above.
It's
Like,
blue with a bunch of yellow creature on it.
Yeah.
how dare you compare to the Minions? This is a step above. How dare you degrade him like that?
Okay,
well,
How
hang
dare you
on.
degrade him?
We
like
can
that?
take this. I'm not allowed to swear on the air or call to action, so I'm not going to talk about minions and why they're better than Pikachu.
I'm not siding with you on that, but they're very similar.
Wow.
We
And
did have a
disrespect.
conversation on what is and what isn't a minion.
And it was an hour long.
Really?
It was
well. Hang on, it was part of the Clifton Gale dialogue
Uh-huh.
series with Ruth on the sidelines asking us questions.
We were talking about the Minion extended universe and what falls under
I love
Minion.
it.
It's not important. We shouldn't talk about this now.
It was-
I'm gonna start sweating.
But in any case, I would cook on to get girls.
Uh huh.
Dang.
That. Okay.
Wait.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Urgent incoming news. Lindsay said she got Wingstop and she got Cajun and hot, which
Ooh.
is straight up my order every single time. Oh no, I do
No,
Louisiana
lemon
dry
pepper.
rib.
Yeah. Lemon
The dry
pepper's
rub.
pretty good too.
Lemon pepper is good. I'm
Lemon
a big
pepper's
lemon
pretty
pepper
good.
fan. Who else likes lemon pepper? There's a famous Rick Ross.
Don't they make that lemon pepper cereal?
What?
Oh, I'm sorry, the Sour Patch Kid cereal.
Lemon pepper sour.
It's a pepper away.
Are we allowed to talk trash about like restaurants or something like that?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can talk about it. We got
Well, it
the
depends.
hour.
Is it one we like? Yeah.
So, okay, Wingstop, 50% of the Wingstop orders you get are amazing and the best food, and 50% of them like put you on the brink of death of food poisoning. And I'm willing to roll that.
That's
odds
the best
every
part.
time.
Yeah,
Every time,
it's a
like,
gamble.
It is. That's the best part. Like, I'm like, will I die today? I don't know.
Will these fries be sopping wet or will they be fried?
Oh man, that's
their
why I had to
fries are
cut
so
Jack in the
good.
Box out of my life.
Yeah,
There were too
it
many.
made you too soft.
There were.
There are a variety of reasons to cut them out of your life. I don't understand why you're stopping now. Like, you should have stopped earlier.
Well, okay.
We had a real abusive relationship
I can't wait.
with the Jack in the Box near our place. The guy was super rude to us. We just wanted to keep
What?
going back and talk to him. Even it was the guy after 10. They just like hired a guy who was like the ultimate. What would you say? Like the antagonist to any drunk person coming up. He's like, "What's up? We're out of bread." Like the first thing when you come in.
Yeah.
And we're like,
How do you run out of? Oh my!
who knows if he was
gosh.
out of bread? He was out of cares
He was like,
that
I don't
day.
want to deal with. I don't
Every
wanna deal
single
with y'all.
day.
I do remember.
He's like, "Yeah, we're not doing meat tonight. What's up? What do you want?"
I did ask him.
What a
like,
burger
hey,
would never treat me like that.
Because we had like 4 people,
Uh-huh.
and some people only had cash, and I don't think everyone had Venmo. But we got it down to 2 orders, and I said, "Hey, could we do 2 orders?" He's like, I'm not doing that."
Hey man,
all right.
I'm not doing that tonight.
And we just took off. Like,
Which
okay.
is like, I'm not gonna complain. Like no one's gonna do anything about that guy working
like, you
there, and he will continue
understand.
to just like bounce people off of the building. Like a perfect hire, in my opinion.
I admire him. Yeah.
Truly.
Hey, wait! I've got one RA story. I'm trying to figure out if I'm allowed to talk about this. So
Just don't use names.
Okay, so I found a bag of
Like
drugs
RA.
outside of
A
my
bag of
door.
what?
Drugs. Am I allowed to talk about this?
You can talk. You just can't advocate.
Okay, I'm
the
not
use of drugs.
advocating,
Yeah,
but-
no calls to
okay.
action, so you can't tell people to do drugs.
So I found a bag of drugs outside, and it like had like it was a bag of like it was like okay, it was like the size of a fist, and like there were naked women drawn. Like it was a bag of and
It was like
bright
a drug
yellow.
bag,
It
yeah.
was so I went to the. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the security. So I go to security, and I'm like, hey, this is drugs, and she looks up and she's like, I don't want to deal with this.
Sure
right now."
is.
Like, but I'm like, no, this is drugs, and she's like, looks like seasoning to me. And I was like, what? Are you serious? Like, and then I showed her the bag, and she's like, oh no, this is drugs. And I was like, did you drop them? Like, what? Why are you?
Isn't U of H experiencing a rash of robberies right
Yes.
now? Campus PDs, man, they're very, very lazy. I'm not assuming. I'm just. That's where I.
that was a mall.
Actually, I've got a fun.
All right, would you
okay.
say RA or RE?
Well, she
So,
said RA.
yeah.
I went to U of H, and my the campus there, their PD was terrible.
Oh yeah, we've had like 6 robberies in the past like week, like 2 weeks, I think. 2
You
weeks.
trying to remember how many you committed?
Well, we had one where a guy's special lunchbox was taken, and we all roasted him on Twitter.
Hold
and
up,
then,
hold
bro,
up.
his special lunchbox was. taken.
What was it?
He said on Twitter it was like a guy claimed to be him was like it was a Scooby Doo lunchbox, and y'all can shut up. It was the greatest thing ever. I don't even know if he's the actual guy.
Yeah, screw that dude. If he was like, this was my father's lunchbox and his before him, and they
That I
all
can
love
understand.
Scooby Doo.
Dude, like that's like all my residents like, what are we gonna do? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm probably gonna get robbed next. Like, who knows? Like, what?
What's going? Are people just like coming out of nowhere?
Well, okay, so people will be like in the parking lots. Well, here's the thing: when you have a good time with somebody and you have to leave at 2 a.m., you have to leave by some of the parking lots and stuff like that to get back to like you cut through the parking lots, and that's where they've been hitting them. So they're like, at 2 a.m., this man came from Bayou Oaks, and I'm like, I know what he was doing there. Like, he couldn't have just spent the night. Like, fam, come on, have some sense.
Oh man, I've never been like robbed. Well, no, that's not true. I've been mugged. It sucked. I'll tell the story later because I totally forgot about it. But okay, so now I want to bring it back a little bit to comedy.
Okay.
How long have you been doing comedy? And you mentioned that you came to Houston for comedy.
Yeah, actually I did.
Were you a real jokester up in Alaska?
Well, I've wanted to do comedy ever since I was 11. I saw, George Lopez's special that was like released on YouTube and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that and I went to my dad. I was like, Dad, this is what I want to do. And he was like, be a Mexican.
Oh.
And I was like, no, okay, well.
Alaskan humor.
Yeah.
But like, I really wanted to do comedy. And then I figured I wouldn't be able to make it in New York and LA because I have like no money. So I was like, I'm going to do Houston and I'm going to just ride the bus everywhere. And now I do that. I'm living the dream.
Houston, known for its fantastic public transit. Yeah.
That's
I've had to do it. It sucks.
The amount of stories I have of being on the gosh.
Give it up.
Okay. I have so many crazy stories. One time I was on the rail and I heard this woman go, "Oh my." Like, I'm so glad it's pee. And I was like, what? And I looked up, heavily pregnant woman peed everywhere on the metro. And I was like, that's the first time ever I've heard someone be like, it's only pee, it's fine.
That's the first time I've heard of someone being happy to see piss on the metro.
That was the first. And
I have sat and piss on the metro.
Who hasn't? That's like a rite of passage into Houston. One time I got on the bus and there was a puddle of blood on the floor, and I was like, "That's not blood, right?" And then I looked at it and I walked away. And then this guy got on the bus and he looked down and he's like, "Oh my god!" And then he went to the bus driver and she was like, "What am I gonna do about it?" Like,
that is the thing I love most about the public transit system. It's the bus drivers. They're like, if you're doing something bad, they'll just look back and be like, "Don't." And then they'll keep doing their job.
Just wait until the next shift. Yeah.
One time I was on the bus and a bus driver was like, okay, there's this huge crowd of people by one of the bus stops, and she was like, I'm already late, I don't care. And she just barreled past them and they were running after us. They were like, no. And then we had to stop at the light ahead. And she was like, I'm not opening the door.
I remember I was taking the bus on a date. Well,
that is a great beginning of the story.
Hand in hand.
Wait, I was gonna say, wait a second. I've been dating the bus. What the?
Sorry, Ned. Looks like I make her happier.
This route isn't exclusive.
I was taking the bus to a date, and we stopped.
Take her flowers next time.
Sorry, this is already. I'm not prepared for this.
So we're like a mile away from the club that she is at, and I'm meeting her at. And some guy is walking down the street. We're downtown, and he runs up to the bus and slaps the window.
What?
And the bus driver just slams on the brakes. Is like, nope, I'm done. I quit. And she stopped the bus and walked off the bus. I'm the only one left on the bus. I'm like,
what?
Did you leave your keys, ma'am?
Well, I did think, I was like, should I wait until another bus driver shows up? But then I eventually realized, like, that's probably not a good idea.
Okay, that's happened to me so many times where guys have like hit the window where I'm chilling at because they want to get my attention. And like now I'm used to it. Now I'm like, whatever, and I keep going with my day. Like, it's whatever. Okay, one time I was on a bus, and this wasn't actually in Houston, but this is still a funny bus story. One time I was on a bus, and I got on the bus, and the bus driver's like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm using the bus. And he was like, okay, stand behind me. And I was like, okay. The very next stop, the police filed on, arrested every single other person on the bus except for me. You ever stand there and try to look not like a narc? Like, bye, guys.
No, I'm not an RA, so I don't have to worry about that problem.
Can't spell narc without RA.
It was in Harlem, New York. And it was like,
Was it? Like
intense.
Was the bus full of clearly criminals? Like they were all in like makeup and yelling about the Batman or something?
No, like I was like, it was an old, like it was a,
and they were
regular,
rhyming.
like it was a regular bus. Like that was a crazy thing, and it was like 1 a.m. and I was like, okay. And then he just dropped me off to. He was like, I'm not going to stop for any of these stops. Where do you want to go? And I was like, okay. Like,
I would love to have seen. Oh wait, we're getting a phone call. Here we go.
Ooh.
It's not the police.
Hi, you're on Effin Rager.
Hi, hello.
Hi.
This is Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
Listen, I saw Ed Wood today. This is going somewhere, I promise.
Okay.
It was pretty good, but I had an idea because y'all were talking about Dog's Way Home, right? And y'all came up with a pretty good song. What if we had like a Homeward Bound type thing mixed with like Old Yeller? You know what I mean?
This is good.
Alrighty.
I like this.
Okay.
It's like Air Buddies. Like y'all can be the voices of the dogs, right?
Okay.
Can we?
And then everybody dies.
Oh.
So like Air Buddies, but they all like from going crazy?
Hey,
Or is it more like
already-
Reservoir Dogs with actual dogs?
They already
all
made
died
that
at the end?
movie. They actually already made that movie. All Dogs Go to Heaven. They already made it. I'm
Oh
sorry.
man,
They did already make it.
it's called All of My Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah, that we could do that. You got any other hot movie tips?
I'm ready. Let's do
Hot
this.
movies. Well, what about because this is FM Rager, right?
Yeah,
what
better
about
believe
a
it.
movie? I'm a filmmaker. I went to school for this. What about a movie where
Love it.
it's like a big party? It's like what's that one movie where it was like something X?
Project X
Oh yeah.
or
Project
Project
X.
X, depending on where you're from.
and then like not at the end, in the like middle of it, one of the kids dies. And then it's like a Weekend at Bernie's type thing.
We got to keep this kid alive until the RA leaves.
Okay, yeah, no, it is the RA. They have to keep it. Yeah,
That-
the RA
even
is
better,
dead.
Even better.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Exactly. Rose could play the RA.
I love it. Where can I sign my contract? I'm ready. We can do
Oh,
different voices.
man.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. That was awesome.
Wait, we should talk about this movie a little bit more. So the RA is dead.
Yes.
But everyone is keeping the RA alive.
All right.
That's about all I got.
So like puppets, like
and it's
strings
a
and
tombstone that says RAP.
Oh my!
I'm just thinking of they're like, hey, look, Rose is doing a keg stand, and like your body's just dangling her.
And they turn her upside down, and like actual bodily fluids are just coming out because she's a dead body.
Yeah,
And
they're
everyone's like,
embalmed.
oh,
Like,
record
oh no,
scratch.
we embalmed her with Lone Star.
We need to get whoever did Animal House. We need to get them on the project. We need to get them on the
Oh,
project.
he is dead.
Oh,
He
he's,
is-
he's long dead. Wait, that's the thing. We get Harold Ramis' dead body. We weaken
Not
at Bernie
just Harold
him.
Ramis, but the one that Will Forte played.
yeah.
I'm ready for this. I'm ready.
They're all dead. The Animal House guy. I mean, Chevy Chase is still around, but he wasn't in Animal House.
Yeah, but he'll do anything for a buck.
You're dude. Did you hear what he said the other day about comedy? He was like,
Chevy?
comedy. Yeah, he was like, comedy nowadays just isn't funny anymore. And I was like, what
yeah,
have
he's
you
not
been
in
the
it.
last
Yeah.
20 years? Like,
I mean, he's. I think Chevy. He's a tormented man. He has a lot of demons.
Yeah.
But his physical comedy is some of the best I've ever seen.
National Lampoon is probably like top this, like, honestly I'd rather watch that than The Passion of Christ, like that, like,
Oh
like,
yeah,
yes.
they're very very close comparison.
in terms of like cinematic masterpiece.
They just didn't
National
make
Lampoon.
enough Passion of Christs. You know, National Lampoons was like
Could you
kicking
imagine?
out new movies
Yeah.
every
The
year.
Passion of Christ in Las Vegas. I
Yeah.
would, yeah.
Passion
I would love to see Passion of the Christ: The Rise of Taj.
I'm ready.
that's the one. I'm
Van
excited
Wild
for.
316.
We need to
or Van
make
Wilder.
movies.
Not Van Wild, friend of the show.
Okay, this is.
So we weaken at Bernie, a dead body, to make a
Yes.
movie about weaken at burning an RA.
So it's just a bunch of college. Is
This
it
is
is it
good.
like a frat or a dorm? They're like, oh no, Gail Hall's gonna get all expelled if they find out our RA is dead, and
I
so they
love
gotta.
it.
Why would?
Yeah, they have to
would
talk to the dean.
Come to the party. And
Yeah,
it's like,
the dean is there.
Gail Hall, something like that.
Or they use the RA to tell the other kid, the other flatmates. I don't know what do you call the students there.
Well, I don't know.
You use the RA.
or English.
Yeah.
They take the R and they go to like the rival frat. And
Well, they're
like,
just going to
"Y'all
other
gotta-"
students
I
and telling
love
them it's
it.
like, oh, you guys have to. There's a cake party up in room 204.
It's just like you and me show up. It's like, hey, Rose, who are your friends? Like, oh, we got to do the inspection, and we're helpers and interns.
And they just start taking, stealing everything from the room.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
doing
Love
stuff, and then
it.
like we're also just like moving your arms and being like, Oh, Rose is pointing to those lights. Fire marshal's going to be pissed about that.
Yeah, better give us those light bulbs, and then we start selling light bulbs for big
Yes!
cash.
Yeah. Dripping all the copper out of the light
Yeah,
bulbs.
yeah.
Y'all think this is a movie, but this is that's like you're giving me ideas for real life. I'm just gonna go in and be like, I just need.
No, you shouldn't die.
Yeah. Don't do that. Kill someone else, but, keep
Oh,
it
hey,
I'm glad I have
buddy.
new ambitions.
No calls to action.
Man, I'm sorry. I really beefed at KPFT. Will you forgive me? Please forgive me. Oh, I did it again. Ugh. All right, what do we got? Lots of comments.
Nick said,
Dead man on campus?
I was really hoping that the story would end up with Connor taking a job on bus, taking up a new career in bus.
Yes, you
I
don't
would
actually
not-
pay a lot.
X was Malcolm X.
I don't
They pay a lot
know.
for you to deal with a lot.
Oh,
If
Ted
I
Man
could
on
listen to a
campus.
podcast, I would definitely try to be a bus driver. It could be. It wouldn't be fun. I'd be miserable.
It
the whole
wouldn't, but you'd
time.
have funny stories. Like,
Yeah,
like people
I-
trying to beat you up 24/7. Like, it'd be good.
I'd have a lot of funny stories about not doing my job, such as I'm not cleaning up this piss or blood or poop or whatever. Are you reading the plot for Dead Man on
Yeah, I
Campus?
forgot about this movie. How
Oh, is that a
freaking
real-
wild it is.
Dead Man on
What is
Campus.
it?
Okay, Dead Man on
Yeah.
Campus. There's a mythical rule on colleges where if your roommate dies or kills himself, then you get automatic A's for the semester, so you don't have to really
The
suffer
amount
from
of my
the trauma.
residents that have asked me that, they've been like, "Hey, my
Wait,
roommate's
is it true?
annoying." Okay, so
You should know more than
It's
anybody.
not.
Can we
It is
leave
not true.
legally in 15 minutes if the professor doesn't show up, or is that not your
That's not true either. That's not.
That's a
no.
TA question. buddy.
college
It's
is
not.
BS.
Yes, it's not true. It's not
Bachelor
true.
of Science.
That was
Okay,
good.
so if Ned and I were roomies, obviously we'd always have ties on our doors. You know, we're those kind of guys. Parties, we'd be playing pranks. We'd wear
Yeah.
like smoking jackets and smoke pot. We
But it's jackets that are actually smoking with stink bombs.
Oh, even
Somebody
better.
stop us. So if
how you get all the girls.
if I needed to get these grades up and Ned died, would I get?
No, you would not get an automatic 4.0. No.
Huh?
Would you get anything?
You would get,
get a new
You would
roommate.
get a visit to the
When?
psychological services. That's about the extent of what you get.
Nice.
Yeah.
If Ned killed himself?
Well, yeah, that's literally like
Yeah, I'm
that,
not
yeah.
going, you idiot.
We had
Send me to the student crematorium.
We call it Shasta's. It's an ice cream. It's an ice cream store.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I used to work at Cougar Bite at the U of H.
Did you? Hey,
Yep.
did you hear they moved it?
I did. I'm not a fan of the new location.
Really?
I
In the
can't find
basement?
it. I don't know. I just saw like into tech comments. I'm like, what the hell are the
They
tech-
didn't tell
Ah.
anybody. It's in the basement of the library now, and I actually work. I work in the student center, so I constantly have people come up to me. They're like, "Where is it?" And I'm like,
Ugh.
"Y'all could Google that." Like, I'm not. Come on.
We get another. I hear you chuckling. What did you get?
Well, I was gonna say the delay is really playing a part in this, but Matt is asking us to mix in some Speed 2 into the movie idea.
Speed 2. So okay.
Wait, what happens in Speed 2?
All right. So the frat party is on a boat.
Oh no.
Speed 2 is the one
No.
about the boat, right?
Oh no.
No? What's
a
speed-
frat party on a boat? No. no.
An R-race nightmare.
Well, maybe it's like it's a party where there's a bomb in the school and it has to be at a certain decibel level, so they have to party super hard.
Oh, so now it's Crank.
Yeah, and
Speed.
their
That-
studio or their speakers breaks. They have to party. The music can't do it.
He's like, we got to get this acoustic drum circle so loud.
Yeah, and Taj is rising.
Nothing I can.
So
ever
deal with
do this
that
good as
one.
that. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it.
Okay, so
I'm still scared by the frat party on a boat. That no.
is it? Would it really be that terrifying?
Yeah, they'd be like the Titanic 2.0. Like, I would not. Nope.
Do you need like
Jump
if you
ship
see a frat
immediately.
house? Do you have like a crew that you like all suit up and like, let's go bust this party? And it's like,
I actually go to those frat parties, and then I see like some of my younger kids, and I'm like, what are y'all doing here? Like, that's Everclear in that punch. Get out of here. Like, what are they? Fam?
Oh
Yeah.
man, kids are dumb. College kids especially. Well, unfortunately, we're running out of time, so we got to
Oh,
move into
really?
our.
Oh yeah, wow.
Wait,
Oh.
how long have we been? Feels like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
How
about
long
50 minutes.
have we- No way.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. This has been going a mile a minute. Rose, have you listened to the show before?
I was.
You can be
listening
honest.
To, no, I was listening to some of the episodes beforehand, but like.
Have you listened all the way through?
Any good ones?
No, I haven't listened. I listened all the way through.
Okay, well, you
Just
might
do your
not.
stupid thing.
It's not stupid.
I like
I
dancing
already
to it.
love
Do
it.
it.
I already love it. What is it?
Hang on, I got to turn it up. Let me turn it a little bit down.
Dead air,
All
dead
the way
air.
up,
Here we
all
go.
the way up, all the way up.
I want a new plug. Tell us what's going on. Tell me all the stuff you're doing after I sing this song. All right, Rose. This is the plug section of the show. So if you have anything to plug, anything coming up, now's the time to do it.
All of my stuff is like it's under wraps right now. Like I can't talk about it.
Under wraps.
I know, I know. It's not like I can't.
Hang
talk
on.
about
When I was
it.
singing that song, did you go and sign a contract to get this freaking movie made?
Oh, come
I
on.
promise I'll give you all like part writing credits, but no, like
Part writing?
I know, no, like I'll be like by Rose Quacker, and then like in really really small font.
Story
like,
by
y'all's name.
Connor Clifton and Ned Gale.
Inspired by characters.
Inspired. That's it. Right at the end. Right at the end when everyone leaves
Inspired
the
by
theater.
characters that Connor and Ned mentioned. Okay, so you have no shows coming up?
I don't have any shows like I can talk about right now, which is like book me, please.
Okay. Well, what is the best way if someone wants to follow you to see your shows in
What's
the
your
future?
social media?
Okay, I'm Rose Quacker on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I constantly post about the shows and open mics. And actually, can I talk about what I'm hitting up right after this?
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to Oceans Avenue right after this, and it's going to be awesome. Like their open mic is always like.
What's
super cool.
Oceans Avenue?
It's a hookah bar in Third Ward, and it's like they have such energy there. They have like, oh my gosh, it's like one of my favorite mics to go to.
Tight. I've never
Oh,
been
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
it's
check
super.
that out.
It's super fun. It's
Okay.
super fun. And like wings are like $10, so like. Yes.
Whoa. Wait, what kind of wings are we talking? They got
They're
multiple
like a
flavors?
big, like
or-
it's a big. Last time when it was just like barbecue, but it was delicious. Like, it was
Tight.
super good.
Hey, I'm into it.
I'm sorry, did we ask what your Instagram handle was?
My Instagram handle
Rose
is just Rose
Quacker.
Quacker.
Okay, I don't know.
She said on all social media.
She said wings, and my brain went out the window. I was like, what were we talking
No
about?
bones about it. I love wings.
All right, Ned, you got anything to plug?
Yeah, this Thursday, Feud Isle Society's every Thursday, Feud Isle Society Improv is at Secret Group at
Love
8
it.
p.m. and it's $5. I'm tripping over my words. And then this Friday at Avant Garden is a Labyrinth Art Market
Love it.
named after that one song.
In the underground.
Thorn and Moon Markets, Goblin King Ball, and Labyrinth Art Market.
Oh, wow.
Is what it is. Point being, there's going to be a lot of cool art there, and
Love
Swimwear
it.
Department will be playing the final performance of our Labyrinth set, and I can finally throw away this very smelly costume. Yeah, that's going to be a blast. What about you?
All right, so February 14th.
Yeah.
You and me, Ned, we're doing Faking
Ow.
It at Station Theater.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a really fun show that Kelly Gino puts on every year.
Mhm.
She'll be on the show on February 11th to talk about that with us, so
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. Then February 15th, Effin Rager is back, baby.
Back
We're
on the
doing
live
another
stage.
live stage show at Station Theater. You guys should definitely come out. And tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be hanging out in my front yard, just looking for like someone to fight with. So hit me up if you want to throw down and bump some knucks and
Yeah,
get some
man, that
skulls,
sounds
dude.
tight.
Can
Go
I do-
Facebook Live. I want to catch
I've been
those
looking to
fists.
fight. I've been looking to
Love
find
it.
somebody who like thinks they can rise to the challenge.
Hey, can I do one last? Oh, sorry, I forgot
Absolutely.
which. Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, but you have to fight Connor afterwards.
No, you would like beat me up.
I'd cry.
I have the upper arm strength of like a toddler. Like it would not work.
I think hearing you say that, if
Uh-huh.
I had to fight you and we had to fight each other, I think it'd be just we'd both start crying, and then we'd just go get.
You're
some-
not wrong.
We go get tea
you're not
afterwards or
wrong.
something.
I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good bonding activity. I like
Yeah.
it.
But then you'd have to fight Ned for
No,
friendship.
no.
Okay.
Okay, so every week I work with a show called Late Night at the Box with Doug Dalton and Nick Palermo, and we do it at the Secret Group. And then this upcoming, we do a monthly show called Filth, and it is going to be like we have a I can't talk about the guests that are going to be on it, but it's going to be super cool. And it's like it's a consistent show that I work on. It's every Friday is Late Night at the Box, and then once a month is Filth, and it's
Now,
super fun to work. with.
Filth's got its own Facebook page, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Filth Comedy.
Yeah,
or-
we have our own Facebook page for both shows. We have our own Instagram, and then I don't think we have Twitter yet, but we have both of those.
Is that the
Nice.
Super Blue show? Like it's like
Yes,
your
okay.
dirtiest joke.
Okay, so Filth is like the dirtiest, most offensive humor, and I usually do I a sound and like DJ and stuff like that for them, but like it's like
Nice.
Do you just like hit fart noises?
that's
or something?
it's me just switching through songs, but I really it's the show that I'm working with right now, and I'm pleased to be a part of it. So like yes,
awesome.
please come out. Plus can I say we give out free shots or no?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
we
okay.
give out a ton of free shots to everyone during the show.
Well, on Effin Rager, we of course give out free shots.
Love
You can
it.
punch Connor in the gut
Hey,
for free.
I'll be hanging out in my front yard tomorrow afternoon. And one
That's
last
the plan.
thing, you mentioned late night. What's that?
Yeah, Late Night at the Box. It's a weekly show on Fridays at the Secret Group, and it's super late. It's like we start at 11:30, but it's totally worth it because it's like we have some like really big people that like bump in because they just finished up like a show, so they'll come in and do a couple minutes. We like one of the days we almost had Hannibal Buress. He was chilling in the back. Yeah, but then he was like no, I'm good. We almost had him.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
No, he's so cool though. He's so
Okay.
like it was cool. It was cool.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up. Hey, find me on Instagram. I'm at CliftoCurrency. Find me on Twitter at Connor Clifton. Don't find me on Facebook. I'm not going to add you.
Oh, yeah, and then at Ned of the Dead on
Okay.
everything.
I love it.
All right, Rose, thank you so much for being our guest.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for
thanks.
having
This
me.
was-
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course,
this was
so much fun. All right. See y'all next week.
Bye.